Deception. Change focus.
And we are.
I'm gonna have to
We
like
should do this out
actually
loud.
like.
We
focus.
are actually live.
All right.
So
Amazing.
for anyone
All right.
watching, joining, whatever, listening, seeing this after the fact, hello. I'll read our intro out real quick if you guys are okay with it.
Oh, hit it.
Beneath the smog-choked skies of the city of doors stands a run-down building with a pockmarked sign. The faded letters, lovingly repainted again and again by a dead man's hand, read, Stapleton Detective Services. The dim light that spills through the cracks in the doorframe, paired with the smells and sounds of the city at the center of it all, only serve to make the darkness more palpable. Through that door are the remains of a world now lost forever, orphans from a place no one even remembers anymore. With nowhere left to go and no one waiting for them to come home, Jimmy the Mouth Callons tips his hat to the darkness and decides to carry on the good works that brought them here and held aloft the name that saved him. Sealing the last of the invitations with a familiar crest and red wax, he summons the messenger and sends the missives on their way. We've got a lot of work to do, Pohan. I hope they show. The large, gray, aged food dog at his side seems to smile at Jimmy knowingly. The creature barks once, licks his hand, and wanders back inside to lay beside the fire. Jimmy knocks back a hit from his hip flask and makes a disgusted face and mutters under his breath as he walks back in, closing the door behind him. I miss Maury. She always had the best hooch. Welcome to Sigil Confidential. So what you guys have missed so far is we're just introducing some people behind the scenes here. We have, of course, Jimmy the Mouth Callons.
Hello, good people.
Joining us at the moment are also Zill.
My book is normal, I swear.
And Nil.
Normal human sorcerer.
Definitely
completely normal.
Absolutely
Yeah,
normal.
Totally.
Those of you watching may see some other character faces around the display there. They will be joining us as time goes by. Some will be here in effect.
A very short time,
Very
it turns
short.
out.
But yeah, you will be meeting them as time goes by. Don't worry.
Hey.
Hey.
Speak of the devil, and she does appear. In that case, this is Freya, for those of you who may be wondering. Freya, would you like to say hi?
Hello.
Freya has actually been in the back room this whole time, sleeping. Well, trancing.
As much as anybody around this damn office actually
All the
sleeps.
cool kids.
It's
All the cool
relatively few.
kids are doing it these days. Sleep is so passe.
Yeah, I assumed y'all wanted to do like introductions with like a certain someone who I'm not aware of. Like before I came in, so I was just like, what do I need to join the voice
Oh,
chat?
you're good. We're gonna say you've actually been previously contacted by Jimmy. I think we might have discussed it a little bit. If I remember, I can't remember. But your patrons, which those of you who followed the Stapleton cases are familiar with who your patrons are. The ones that rescued you.
Yep.
Basically said that your work isn't done. And that you need to go to Sigil and find Jimmy.
All right.
So you made your way here, and with the help of Zill, navigated your way back to Jimmy. And Kong. Although
right.
God knows where the hell Kong is right now.
I like to think Kong is out on the job with enormous quotes around the job there.
The job.
The job. He likes to go back and run with the sort of urchin mobs every now and then, and it's good to keep your ear to the ground with that
Well,
bunch.
if you want to know who's got the word on the street, it's the urchins.
Oh yeah. So he's working, he's pulling his fair share, and he gets to climb all over stuff and cause trouble at the same time.
He
So
loves it.
this is the best day of his week right now.
Definitely loves it. So, Freya walks out, perturbed by the noise that disrupted her trance.
Freya! Welcome, welcome. Come on down.
Pohan immediately gets to his feet and, in an almost puppy-like manner, trots over and immediately begins to nuzzle Freya.
Hi, Pohan. What in the world is going on out here?
We're welcoming a new member to the
A
crew.
new friend.
Yes, they're a totally normal sorcerer. Human sorcerer, sorry.
Oh, hello.
Nil, this is Freya, friend of ours and co-worker from the old days. Freya, this is Nil, perfectly normal human sorcerer, her own quote.
Hello, darling.
And as you guys are talking, you hear a knock at the door.
Knock on the door.
I haphazardly run a hand through my hair and cut my eyes towards Jimmy, barely catching the end of what he said because my eyes are glued on Freya.
I guess
I'm sure Freya can handle the rest of the introductions. I go down to get it.
All right.
Hi.
There is a very familiar golden-faced friend standing at the doorway. Big, shiny, sharpened teeth smiling at you from ear hole to ear hole.
Ah, you're just in time.
Aren't I always?
I really struggle to remember a time you weren't. Flawless in all things. Come on in, buddy. We got a friend for you to meet.
Well, if it isn't the dynamic duo back together.
The golden boy's presence fills the room. It's almost as if glitter just seems to rain down from the light sources.
This may be partly because it really is.
Seeing how fancy this guy is, I would like to assist.
Assist away.
Oh, I hope this isn't touch. This isn't okay. Oh, it is touch. It's touch. Oh, never mind. All right. I'm gonna wait till I shake his hand. That's when I'll do it.
So Draken enters the room.
If I do.
Draken, say hi.
Hello, all.
The young golden god that he is.
So much glitter.
I actually want to note it. There is a perfect circle of no glitter around Master. Out of respect, I leave a completely glitter-free area just
wait,
for
Master
him.
isn't here. This is
Master is not present. We've got
this is
Nil.
Nil. Oh, in that case, the glitter is everywhere.
I'm just gonna be waving away the glitter. See, this is why I don't like it.
Pohan buries his
Jimmy
head.
sits back down as the glitter settles onto his face and like eyelashes, and it's all over everything. He says, Draken, this is Nil, our newest hire. Master referred her over.
Pleasure, Nil. Ciao to.
All right. I shake your hand and cast light.
On his hand.
I would like to think that since I'm shaking his hand, my hand would touch the sleeve of whatever robe he's wearing.
Mm.
So I want to like reach out with a few like extra fingers. You know how somebody can like shake your hand and then like reach to grab your sleeve? I just want to like reach out with like 2 fingers if I can, subtly. Just I'm probably gonna have to roll sleight of hand for that. That's gonna be crap.
Give me that sleight of hand.
My stats are garbage. It's a +1. It's an actual +1.
You got this. Come on.
You're only grabbing the sleeve. It can't be that
He
hard.
could opt to not resist. You never know.
Oh, that's not
That's
terrible.
not terrible
Okay.
at all.
I'm not gonna resist.
Right. So as she shakes your hand, your robe lights up. Bing! Like a beacon. As it was always meant to be.
Everything always works out.
Flawless. Say, well, Draken, you might be able to tell, but Nil is a sorcerer, she says, and you know the whole onboarding process, it's usually best to get an idea of what somebody's capable of, and I am not the qualified person for that. That's you, buddy. So it's already late in the day. We don't necessarily have to do it now, but if you two are up for it, I'll leave you to it.
So, how do you do what you do?
Just a normal sorcerer.
Yes, I am a completely normal, completely ordinary human sorcerer. I have draconic magic.
Pohan snorts.
Mentally shut up.
You're gifted with the blood of the dragons.
Oh,
Like
you two
that.
will get along just fine.
So
This is where I hate that I'm not actually this character, because if I were, I would have advantage against charisma checks against dragons. So
at this moment, the door kicks open and in walks this individual.
Oh,
A stunningly beautiful succubus kicks open the door, looks around smirking, and says, "Did someone say talented?"
not sure. Don't think those words were said, but we'll go with it.
No, but I said whore.
Jimmy stands up, and all of the sort of jovial, fun time Jimmy has fallen off of his face.
Focus has
And-
shifted from me. Awesome.
I assume I have not met Fall from Grace before here. Is she a former
No,
client?
not a former client. One of you knows who she is.
But is it Jimmy, though?
I'll give you a chance. Go ahead, give me a knowledge roll. Basic intelligence, we'll say.
I need to try to do that too.
No, you wouldn't know Fall from Grace.
All right.
You've heard of her. Zill.
Enough to know her on sight is the
Oh yeah,
question.
there's not a lot of people like Fall from Grace. Zill knows who she is.
Zill knows damn near everything is what I'm interpreting here.
All right, so she's standing at the door.
Jimmy gets up and he says a little icily, "You want to close that door and try that again?"
That depends, handsome. You gonna invite me in?
Of course. I'm always nice to potential clients. Potential clients don't kick in my door.
With remarkable grace, no pun intended, and a wave of her hand, she shuts the door behind her softly. And she motions to one of the chairs and says, "May I?"
Spun back around again, Jimmy says, please, by all means.
She comes around and very neatly settles on the chair.
That's my chair.
She winks at you.
I have a feeling she doesn't really care.
Yeah. Your book is vibrating.
Okay.
Excuse me, I've got to take this.
Excuse me. Yes, I have to take this message. Someone's used a sending spell to my book.
The basement is angry.
I'm gonna exit the room with my vibrating book.
I say to Fall from Grace, my apologies that it's a little crowded here. We were just handling some company business, but what can we do for you?
Well, I have a problem, and I understand.
Oh, those are our bread and butter.
I understand that you're competent.
I hope
The
so.
harmonium has been of very little help. I have nowhere else to turn. You see, my girl, Dolores, well, something's been stolen from her. And I need to get it back. She needs to get it back.
Okay. Well, coming to terms with how business is conducted here in the city, I understand that you may or may not want to say exactly what that is. You tell me. How much do you care to divulge?
Do you know me?
I may have recognized your face.
Do you know what I do?
What people do is a really good question. I know what you can do. Or at least some of it.
Well,
Can I do something while he does that?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I would like to be the worst.
Oh no.
Yes, and ransack mind.
You sure now? And I only say that because remember where you are and who or what this is. I'll let you.
Maybe
Things can go poorly very quickly if you care, you know.
I don't know if they'll be able to tell. Would I know they'd be able to tell? I would have seen a succubi before, right? Like,
they're not exactly that common.
No, but you can tell this is some type of fiend, and you also know.
Yeah, no, that's not
yeah,
gonna
this
work.
is a fiend, like from one of the afterlives.
All right. Okay. The bright shiny one's still here. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I shall slip behind him.
All right, hide behind Draken.
Not hide, but just like conveniently move my body so that I'm directly in like not in her line of sight at all.
Okay. All right.
So to Fall from Grace, I say, I'm aware of your establishment. I can't say I've been myself yet, but I understand it's one of the more unusual ones here in the city.
Well, unusual, sure, depending. Listen, I can tell by some of the looks I'm getting that, well, some of you immediately aren't inclined to trust me. This is fair.
Oh, please, please. You saw the sign on the door. Our trust is available.
Well, as much as I appreciate that, I have to say that I know what I am, and I know the initial thoughts that come with that. I am reformed from my former path. Which is why I chose the name I did, the name you're familiar with, Fall from Grace. You may call me Grace, Jimmy.
Oh, that's very generous of you. It's a bit easier on the mouth.
So she holds her hand out
Former.
for you to kiss the back of it.
Here, let's see how well I do.
What, a model? I don't understand.
One sec, let me go check my pluses here. We're gonna do it big.
Well, you'd probably hear some slamming upstairs. That's about it.
Boy. Upstairs?
Yeah, upstairs. Not downstairs. Oh, I mean,
Okay.
no, you know what? I'd be downstairs.
That's not the basement.
You're right. I'd be downstairs.
Okay.
Slamming things.
Because I was
sorry.
about to say if there is the attic. If the attic is involved too, this is going to be really interesting.
There we go. I deploy a 14 performance kiss to the back of the hand. Very theatrical.
Okay. That works. All right. Let me see here. Actually, I need to send this to Zill real quick. You need to go lay down. Go on.
No, Sissy's being in trouble.
Okay, let's see here. I apologize for this.
Oh, bookkeeping must be done
Oh,
occasionally.
yes.
Yeah, the book's definitely keeping me.
Okay.
Hey,
So, I'm going to just say this out loud for a second. Zill, what you do know about Fall from Grace is, yes, she is a reformed succubus. She's reformed from her ways. No longer is she the standard succubus. She runs a place called where's the name?
Brothel for slaking intellectual lust.
Thank you. Yes. It's a big name. I didn't want to get it right or wrong. Yes, but the brothel for slaking intellectual lusts, which is basically a place that people go to stimulate themselves intellectually.
Oh. No wonder.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So her girls do things like play chess or engage in debate or share secrets, that type of thing. So it's less of a standard brothel, but it's still the company of somebody beautiful in a private setting for an intellectual pursuit. Grace actually has a very solid golden reputation.
all right. Well, I definitely did not frequent that place often.
Slam!
Slam, slam.
They distinctly do not
No, I
know
only
you
went
at
there
the door
once.
by name.
I would like to roll inside of that statement.
I just wanted to see what it was like.
I just wanted to play chess.
No, she's not better than you are.
the basement is king shaming you.
Bottom, I mean, the building's probably rocking a little bit. That's all I gotta say.
groaning structures.
This is
Groaning,
great.
moaning, same thing.
Please send all fan fiction too.
I was just gonna say, we need to finish that sentence, dude.
Yes.
Finish it.
HomebrewRP@gmail.com.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. Now they have a location.
All right. Well, after
We
the
good to
slamming and groaning has stopped, I'd probably walk back upstairs disheveled.
Alright.
My shirt's probably half off.
I cut my eyes at him, and then I resume focus.
All right. So,
I'm gonna have to walk out that door later. This is embarrassing.
so Jimmy, as I said, my girl has had something stolen from her. And she needs it back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me?
Okay. Of course. Of course we can. We take all such cases. Certainly, I must be fair here. You would be our most illustrious client by far.
Well, you honor me.
Now, obviously there's a whole lot we must go into, and certainly you're very busy. So we can take some statements from you here regards to it. We can arrive at your establishment tomorrow or whenever is convenient to take statements from Dolores, and we can begin, coming up with a plan for
That
this
could be a
one.
problem.
Oh, really? Why
Well, Dolores not really talking right now. Or
so?
able to.
On that earlier question, you mind telling me exactly what was stolen from Dolores?
Her heart.
I'm not gonna lie, I really did want to take this one. My understanding is that the theft of a heart is very permanent for most people.
Well, Dolores not most people. She's an automaton?
Okay. Okay, I'm back in this one. Right. Well, that's going to be very interesting. Then, did she have anyone she was particularly close to at work that we might be able to ask some questions to? Anybody who was there?
Well, I've only got 9 courtesans at the brothel. They all know each other, of course, but Delora was quiet, kind. She's a master at debate. She could, probably school you at just about any game you can imagine. Speaks well. I can't imagine why anyone would want to do this. Why would somebody choose to steal the clockwork heart of one of my courtesans?
That is exactly what we're for.
Then I can count on you.
You may indeed. You may indeed. We have sort of standard agreements with our clients. I'll be able to bring you one tomorrow. And we can discuss it further.
She stands up, leans over the desk, gets almost uncomfortably close. Close enough that even in your, let's say, limited capacity...
Somewhat less alive.
It stirs you a bit. The scent of her perfume and the look of her face and everything. It's overwhelming a little bit. She gently kisses you on the cheek and says, "I'll see you tomorrow, Jimmy." Before she smirks, winks, turns and slowly sachets out of the room with every eye upon her.
I'm going to make a little roll here.
Including Pohan.
1 second. Including Pohan. So, that was my perception roll right there.
You noticed every curve.
I actually did want to have Jimmy focus in as hard as possible.
Okay.
Because he has been mostly dead for some time. anything that shakes that up, he's interested in. So I got 29 points worth of eyeful.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Do I need to be here for this?
We need to, I know we're
Jimmy
sure
stares
audience is all
blankly
big,
into
but-
space for a little while.
But
I think
Just
it
a
might
few
be time
seconds.
for a break.
I think actually, as she leaves, the whole room's kind of quiet for a second while everyone kind of reconnects with their brain.
Jimmy blinks 2 or 3 times, which is actually disconcerting because he doesn't do that very much anymore.
That what it's
And then
like
he-
when you deal with me?
Classic Draken.
Draken, I don't know if there are any Dragonborn establishments of that type here in the city, but if you can pull that on people, I think you can walk in and take whatever you
Hell
want
with
for
that.
free.
Draken's thinking of what kind of power couple they could be.
She's not my type.
Nice.
She's
She's a
scales,
succubus.
of course.
She's everyone's type.
Yeah.
I like them scaly.
Well, she could be scaly if that's what you like.
You see the wings? There's some
She
wings.
is a succubus. They can shape change. Although she's reformed. So
Yes.
she leaves the room. You can smell just the hint of her perfume still lingering in the air, but everyone gathers themselves and shakes it off, and you are once again alone. Well, with yourselves.
With ourselves, of course. I look over at Pohan for a second. Like, did you see that?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that did happen. All right. Well, everyone, we have a job, and oh man, am I excited about this job. Nil?
Clearly, I can tell, Jimmy.
Nil, your first one's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
Just gonna pop back out from around the the illustrious and shining robe of Draken and be like, "Yep."
Yes. My book's
Alright,
gonna love it there.
I need to draw up one of our agreements, and I need to draw you up an employment contract, Nil. So, you guys don't mind, I'm gonna get to work on that. Draken, Nil, you guys, you do your sorcery thing. You check back in with me later, Draken.
Alright.
Let me know.
I'd probably follow you up, Jimmy, since I am the scribe of the group. That would make
Of
the
course.
most sense.
The bookkeeper.
Of course, Zill. As always, I will rely on your services.
Yes, of course. I can't wait.
Ready. I am gonna go talk to Nil for a little
All right.
bit.
Oh, right.
Go over and like play with Pohan.
He's over the moon.
So you're
Belly
a
rub.
sorcerer of draconic blood.
Oh, the scrutiny is on.
On.
Slight bit of perspiration.
That's alright. You'll never see Draken sweat
What
because he doesn't have the glands.
What type of dragon?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Ooh. Because according to my research, the only answers to that question can be either bronze or blue.
It could be anything, pretty much.
No, based on the spells I have, it can only be bronze or blue.
She's done
So I'm either
something.
from your hometown or your sworn enemy. Okay, this requires a dice roll. Hang on. We'll get out the heavy boys for this one.
Oh, with the big dice.
Oh, that's a 14. Bronze. Yes. Okay. All right. Bronze.
Cool. Master vouched for you?
Master did.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Oh, good then. He literally just walks away.
That's all it took.
Draken doesn't really read people. He's not really sure why Jimmy wanted him to do that.
Oh, I'm sure he'll ask something later and it'll come out why.
Draken's degrees of human perception go from, do they like me? Do they not like me?
Do they
Pretty
believe the
much.
thing I just told them?
Yeah.
More
So
along the lines of, I'm going to say something that isn't true, but reality is going to make it
Oh, yeah.
true.
So it's more like, do they like me? Or have they not realized that they like me yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's all right.
Yeah.
You already like me, or you will shortly. I got this.
How far along this journey to best friendship are we at the moment? That's really all this testing.
There is only one best friend. And that is
There you
Jimmy.
go.
Freya's also up there, and Master was very close. He is actually sad. He had some new tricks he wanted to show Master.
The opportunity
I'm
will
sure
present
Master will come
itself.
around.
I didn't even have to get into the meta magic stuff. I didn't even have to start talking about the elemental affinity. He just asked one question
That's all it took.
about the lies that I have prepared and then just walked away. I didn't even have to roll
Kind of
deception.
disappointed.
This is just Nil's internal conversation.
What do you mean, all
He
right?
truly believes everything will work out. It's his life motto. Everything works out in the end.
It's worked so far.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Shrug.
Jimmy and Zill, I guess, are up drafting the two things that we need: a new copy of the employment agreement and a standard client contract
Oh, yeah.
for Fall from Grace.
Zill will be able to facilitate that. He is the bookkeeper.
Mhm, mhm.
In fact,
Jimmy likes to look over
In
the
fact, Zill, you could actually probably look in the library and find those exact documents.
I sure can. That would be fantastic. I love going in there.
That's the best.
I guess I'll roll an investigation to not get interrupted. I got a 17.
Yep. You'll find exactly what you're looking for, and
I'm going to walk back out of the
the
room.
door's locked.
rubbing
The
my
door's
butt.
locked.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
The librarian wants to have a chat about your new friend.
No, not now.
Since when are succubi allowed into our home?
Hungry. Ooh,
Hold on.
girl, the shade.
I did not let her in. She kicked the door in.
Mhm.
Afterwards, my tenant talked
Yep.
to them. I called her a whore.
You ever seen the downstairs of a house give you a Z snap? Ooh, girl.
Mhm. So are you going to this brothel?
I have to. It's part of my job.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
How a foot taps angrily.
Well, don't you dare put me in that
You'll be
backpack again, because I want to see everything.
Of course. Like I would never, ever, ever do that to you. Do you know that I love you?
We're not talking right now. Just go on. Go.
Oh.
All right then. I guess I'll try to leave
The
again.
door's unlocked now.
Oh, that's great.
It actually
Well,
Jimmy's just
it
upstairs.
slams behind you on your
having
way
a drink.
out. Slam.
my butt probably hurts just a little bit.
Jimmy's not really sure how that whole operation works, but he does know it sometimes takes you a while to get back from the library.
Auto closing door. Sometimes I forget the timing.
So Jimmy, another little small piece of canon.
Of course.
One of the things you've done since your time here is you've talked to a brewmaster. And you actually have a branded version of whiskey specific to you that is slowly picking up in popularity in certain bars.
Oh, yes.
It's just called Wickletongue.
Yes. I love it. Expect me to spend literal money and time to ensure this is drunk far and wide.
But you always have a
I
bottle.
request the highest of fives. Oh, yes.
Wickletongue.
Wickletongue.
I like to think that Jimmy was despondent for months when he went around trying to figure out where everybody was, and Maury was the only one who didn't make it.
It was very... Especially because she was one of the last ones, too. So a lot of people didn't realize what happened. Yeah. It took a good deal of investigation to figure it out. But yeah, when news got around. Everybody's kind of aware that everyone made it except for Maury. And ironically, I know this is off topic, but it's fine. Agron's brainworm actually died when the gates closed. So.
Yay!
Hey! That's fantastic.
I like to imagine it fell right out of his ear, and then he went, "Oh shit, I knew it."
Pretty much. Yeah, he immediately kicked dirt over it and looked around, hoping nobody else saw it.
Everything works out in the end.
Pretty sure I know this.
But yeah.
That's what the extra juice you applied to the gate spell was for killing the brainworm.
Yeah.
Everybody else except you.
But yeah, no, everybody's out there. So.
But what I think would be fun is to actually have rolls to determine how good our contract with the client is.
That's fair. Zill's making the contracts more or less as the bookkeeper. So we'll let it go on his roll.
I think he would scribe it, and then Jimmy would look over it.
What do you want me to roll for that?
You know what? Give me a percentile. Let's go old school with this.
Percentile? Just old D100?
Yeah.
Oof. But I've got scribiness. Do I get advantage? Let's do it.
Look at that.
67.
Yeah, all right, Jimmy.
Two numbers.
Give me a percentile
right.
as well.
Gotcha.
It's amazing. This is bulletproof. This is made of lead. Superman couldn't see a way through this.
Beautiful. That is how we perceive it.
That's how you perceive it. Zill was just kind of given it by the library. I don't think he wanted to argue
over the quality of this one, or just check.
Yep. Just it does all the things you want it to do.
Of course. I give it a once over. I would actually check for very obvious things like this is a contract for employment of a private investigator for a finite term for a particular item, and it has agreements towards payment and obligations on that score.
There is a clause that says something about if Zill spends more than an hour in any particular escort's room, that everything is null and void.
Oh
I
my
look at that,
God.
and I look at Zill, and I look at that, and I say, "You feeling a bit antsy there, buddy?"
Yeah, I just put that in there because I got some history, short history, just making sure that I don't stay there too long. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna trust you to this one because that goes very poorly for me if you don't.
Pohan snorts.
I will make sure I
read
follow
Pohan's
what I
head
wrote.
After he does.
Okay. All right, and the last one that I'm actually concerned about is it's on behalf of a client who is incapacitated. So I wish to ensure that, secondary fees or even the full amount upon her revival, which is hopefully the purpose of the whole exercise,
But
is still owed by at least the
the
establishment.
client technically is her employer, which would be falls from grace.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just ensuring that it's not, written out so that she owes us in the end. And she comes to you and says, I never signed
Yeah,
anything.
no worries there.
No, it is definitely written and contracted to the whore that asked us for help.
Yep, fall from grace.
So I think technically, though, Zill, I don't believe she works there, so that would make her the madam.
She is indeed.
Oh, she definitely. I mean, I would know.
Yeah, I'm gonna just roll a thing if you
Go
don't
for
mind.
it.
I'm gonna roll myself a little perception.
Are you guys having this conversation in front of everybody?
No, I think we're upstairs, right? I thought
Everybody's
Yeah,
in
we're
the
upstairs.
office right now, as far as I know.
Yeah, we had left the
Okay.
office at the beginning I actually did it to clear out room for, Draken and Nil to have their little scene, but Jimmy and Zill had gone off to work on the contract separately.
Right.
I just rolled for uncomfortable and got a 19.
Nice.
So,
That's very uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody give Nil
Yeah.
a shot of Wickle Tongue.
So 23. Church, do I observe his immense discomfort and kind of self-contradiction on
He's
the topic?
squirming a bit, but at this point you're almost kind of used to it. Like
He's a fidgety.
he's a fidgety guy, and he's a
I'm
little
just-
troubled. But you've never really found the gall to just flat out ask. But you're not really even entirely sure what race he is. Maybe it's a quirk of the culture.
Who knows? I do this simply because I want to build up suspicions on Jimmy to see if he will one day uncover how Zill works and what's going on with his library.
Oh yeah, he wonders. He wonders.
Because he's not going
He
to ask.
wonders. But it is his landlord.
Yep. I definitely wouldn't mess with any jink skirts.
All right. On for our new friend Nil also.
All right.
And then we need the employment contract. We'll look that one over too, I
Alright.
guess.
Nell, you gonna sign the contract?
Can I read it first? And
We got to check
Sure.
it first.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sure.
So I think. Go ahead there, Zill.
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh no. The first one of the night. It better not be like Genesis.
As long as it's not
Alright.
like your Call of Cthulhu character, you'll be all right.
Oh, Tom is offended, and Tom doesn't even know why. I don't.
Can't wait to see this.
Oh, an eight.
Oh no!
All right.
It's
You would have
beautiful.
probably skipped over the line that said, "And your soul belongs to us." But it's okay.
Why is it advantage?
You probably have
Because
to.
you've got default roll with
Yeah.
advantage on.
It's all good. I'll say this. Basically, it read, "In so much as hereby unto so forth and so forthwith shall the named party signature."
Shall the party of the first part.
Here's the painful part. I just rolled an intelligence check and got an 8, but my intelligence is 19.
You're distracted.
So
You're distracted by everything. Yeah.
You're distracted.
I'll be like, "Oh, wait! I forgot about this one," and then I'll just cross out a
the
line. Yeah, you don't
basement
throw
is
that
the
one.
wrong one, and I'm busy thinking of one-liners. That's
I
what
will say
happened.
this. The master made you very comfortable with this group of people based on the stories that you've heard
Yes.
and the way that he speaks of them, so you're a little more trusting than normal.
I didn't get into this for the money anyway. Yeah, none of this matters. I'm a nihilist at
There
heart.
you go.
Why would I bother reading the contract in detail
No, the
anyway?
nihilist. It's perfect.
Yeah, whatever. Fine. I'm not signing this in blood, am I?
No,
We're
no.
good.
No, it's just regular.
Just rather
Alright.
regular blood ink. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like last time.
If you examined it closely, there might be a little red tint, but who's gonna know?
Can I get some more of that whiskey? That was good.
Whistledown.
Jimmy pours you another glass.
What is this again?
It's Wickletongue. It's the own house brand. It's been getting popular recently. You know, we're gonna have to step up production soon.
Whistledown.
Definitely.
So, unless anybody has
It's very bitter.
unless anybody has anything to do in the city tonight.
I might ask Zill for a dossier before we head out tomorrow to fill Jimmy in on anything else that's easily available about the brothel forsaking intellectual
Okay.
lusts.
Zill doesn't know anything about that place.
Really? Nothing? That's the first.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
I tend not to go to those kind of places. I just know it's. Yeah.
So,
Chess.
as you're
Hey.
talking,
I don't need special skills for you lying, bruh.
as you're talking, I will say this. Everybody, give me a perception roll, please.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see how bad this goes.
Hey.
Perception. What's the actual stat? Oh, that's right. Wow. Okay. Oh. It's 10, folks.
That is a number.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
It
10.
is 10.
That's the that's the 10est 10 that ever 10'd.
So, Jimmy, did you roll? Was that 24 or you?
That's
Okay,
the 24 right there, yeah.
So Jimmy, Zill, Freya, the three of you, you get this cold feeling like you're being watched. And you look over at the window and there's a cube-shaped creature with little wings
No!
staring at the window through the window.
I didn't notice the eye box.
Is the window
No.
open?
The window's closed.
I didn't notice the eye box.
You didn't.
Has it
Just
noticed
tell me
that we noticed?
noticed.
It doesn't really seem to care.
Would
How big is
I
the window, by the way?
I
I
go
recognize
over
one
and
of these
open the
creatures having,
window.
like, hung around in a place that, kind of at a cross section between like the Feywild and
You've seen
Arvindor.
one before. Yeah, you know what a Modron is.
Yeah.
I am going to immediately tell Jimmy, hey, probably shouldn't open that window. Probably shouldn't do that. That thing was following our friend Nil around for a while, and it's a special kind of Modron.
What
So I
thing?
wouldn't open
You
the
say.
door.
What thing? What?
If I
Oh, jeez.
if I hit it, will it explode?
Dun, dun, dun.
If you hit
No.
it, it might make us explode.
Are you sure? Because I really want to hit it.
It's
No.
staring.
So did I.
It's
trust
staring
me.
intently at Nil.
Can it see through
Have you
blinds?
ever?
They don't explode. They're very much about order, but if it's following Nil, then we should probably close the window.
Have you ever been at the beach in your car, eating McDonald's French fries, and the seagulls have noticed?
Fuck.
They just look right in at you.
You know that how they'll like flap their wings and like hover outside your window and just stare at you. That's kind of like this.
Okay, so I draw the curtains closed on that window.
Could you blink, please?
Modrons don't blink.
I draw the curtains closed on that window, and I actually move to walk outside.
I see you going downstairs and outside. Okay.
Yeah.
You go outside and it's gone.
I look around. As I passed the door, right next to the coat rack where I left my coat, is the obsidian javelin. So I grabbed it as I went outside, and I look around and I go,
Yeah, he's gone.
well, shit. I go back inside.
Okay.
Prop the javelin back upstairs. So, what was that?
That's the creepiest little predator you've ever seen.
Poor Nil.
It's a Modron. They're from the realm of absolute order.
So I've heard from the basement dater, but
That's awesome.
I look around at my somewhat sloppy office, and I go, oh, that's probably going to be why I haven't seen you.
Slightly sloppy.
I feel like one of those creatures would come by to put your office in order.
That almost makes me want to let him in, but he seemed to have his eyes on you, Nil.
yeah, I'm not excited about that.
Want to tell me a story about that?
Every step I take, every move I make, it is watching me. It's not fun.
Awesome.
When I chase it down, it does not. Everything I try, it just keeps staring and staring and staring.
You know what they want?
Doesn't talk, doesn't respond to telepathy, doesn't take fire damage, doesn't take psychic damage.
Zill, are you staying quiet?
Yeah.
No,
I'm
Zill.
staring off.
Zill. That's
I'm sorry.
Similar.
I don't know if I'm saying all the
He's
details.
got himself muted.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Zill actually has some insight here, but I don't know if he wants to share it.
He's told me some things, but like, it's kind of, I'm trailed off and I'm staring off into the middle distance in frustration. Just.
Jimmy's rubbing his chin and he says, wait, telepathy?
So I've heard.
Pohan snorts.
Yeah.
Just continue to scratch Pohan whenever he does.
Yeah, he's on his back, his tongue's lolling out. Back leg kicking.
I'm going to keep rolling this and eventually one of them's going to stick. But it probably ain't going to be that one. That was an insight check.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You can't really nothing out of the ordinary.
Just regular old telepathy, you know?
Maybe it's a spell.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a spell.
It's probably a spell.
Probably a spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do I look like I know spells?
Zeller, are you being quiet about the Modron?
Oh, I missed something because I had to look for a moment.
That's all right. They were talking about the
Oh.
Modron. I was wondering if you were keeping what you know to yourself or sharing.
Jimmy asked. He said he was in discussion with Nil, asking what they were, what they wanted, what had they done so far.
Well, I can say that it is a quadrum type of Modron. There's multiple kinds. That's one of the more rarer ones. He is even more rare because he is, let's say special. He's not just a Modron. He is kind of mixed with something else. I can't really say too much else. I'm just going to say it makes him extra annoying to deal with. So I would not deal with him. He doesn't seem like he wants to hurt anyone, though. Just follows her
Well,
around.
injury or no injury, the confidentiality of my clients is kind of paramount in this business. So he's peeking in the second story window. My plan was to go outside, put a javelin through him, and then blow him away. Is there a very good reason that'd be a bad plan?
Yes, very much so. I will confidently say he is probably better at using magic than I am.
Ah. Okay, well, you know, we just leave those curtains closed from now on.
Yes.
Just close the curtains.
Probably.
We'll deal with that later.
By the way, Jimmy, I may have picked up some new tricks as well.
Hey!
Uh-oh.
I always love to hear about those. Hit me, Draken. Let me know. We're about to have to turn in for the night, but, you know, give me the down low before we go.
Alright. Well, you can fly.
I look around your back for wings.
Always had wings, but now I can make other people fly too.
Oh.
I thought you had
Okay.
that before. Out of character.
No,
I had
I
the
don't think he ever had flight.
Am I thinking of something else? What?
He had Thunderstep.
Ciao.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the evil campaign.
Yes.
Somebody there could fly, and then that was something that Jangle really wanted because he had wings and
That's
couldn't
right.
fly.
Yes. These are true
Never
facts.
got the chance, did he?
Oh. Well, he's flying now.
I know.
I don't feel sorry for him.
No, we can't. He actually did fly. He flew on the
That's
ornithopter.
true. That's true. He had a moment of glory.
It was the end of his life, but it was the very best day of it.
Aw.
Rip Jangle.
All right, so back to Draken.
I don't
Jimmy
feel
looks at
sorry
you. He
for
looks
him.
at you. I'm going to assume that's magical flight.
It would be. Also,
Okay.
I've learned how to ask the reality, tell people not to cast spells.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Those cause me no end of trouble.
Reality just says no.
Nice.
Okay. All right, I like that. I like that. Jimmy,
Just that quiet, like, all right, cool, nod, yeah.
not that's totally normal sorcerer stuff. I know. I trust me. I know.
Not gonna mention that I can burst into flames. Not gonna do it.
No, it's not relevant, really.
That's not a normal human thing,
Not
so
to
I'm
make
not
a
gonna tell you.
fireball of acid. Just normal stuff.
That sounds weird.
Not
That
gonna
sounds
tell you I have
really
a glass
weird.
eye either. That's not your business.
No, I don't even know that. Are you muttering this to yourself? Because that would be great.
No.
All right, well,
No
Jimmy is
spoilers.
not blessed with telepathy.
Maybe I'm just saying all this to Pohan. Pohan.
He don't mind.
He likes to
The
leave
details.
Jimmy to just kind of wallow in it.
Yeah.
It's the vibe I'm getting, so I think you're probably safe.
So at this point, you hear the door downstairs kick open and slam against the wall again, and somebody's stomping up the stairs.
Ah.
Oh. Uh-oh. Wonder who that could
I can't
be.
even swear to the gods anymore. There's none of them here.
Thump, 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 thump. The door flies open. There's a wiry little human man with a little goatee and a bald head standing there in some slightly garish clothing, looking around angrily, breathing slightly heavy. He says, "What is the deal?"
Hey,
The
Zill, the
deal
basement is angry.
is that you have stomped into my place of business, disrespected my carefully handcrafted door, and are a poor dresser.
Did you talk to that bitch?
Now, sir. Oh.
Did you take the
This
case?
is the basement.
Did you take the
Now
case?
I know what the deal is.
This is the basement come to life. Ooh.
Did you
Sir?
take the case from that bitch Grace?
Conversations with clients, potential or otherwise, are perfectly confidential. And unless you have business here, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Do you know who I am?
Zill.
I do not. You're free
I'm
to
Harris
introduce yourself.
Hatches. Harris Hatches. Does the name ring a bell?
Does it?
Then you're an
Honestly?
idiot.
No. That was to
Oh,
your turn.
sorry.
Then you're an.
Go and give me an intelligence roll. Sorry.
I mean, I probably
check
know,
for
but
that?
I don't know what I would know.
I think he might actually be in your list.
Where is my? Where's
Yeah,
my
it's in your list.
Should I
Okay.
It's a
check for
handout,
that?
by the way.
I would-
Jimmy.
Oh, you know what?
I would-
That's
All right,
wrong.
Jimmy. Yeah, you know who he is. Just on reputation, he is quite possibly
Yeah.
the most successful business promoter in all of Sigil.
Can I check for that?
You might
I gotta get that 8 out of my history.
you might know who he is just because you've seen the name, but I'll give you a chance. Yeah.
Harris Hatches.
Oh, that's so much better. This is 13. That's better
You've
than an
seen the name,
Yes.
but you don't really know who he is.
Say, Mr. Hatches, much as I respect your work, I must say matters with my clients are
I
confidential
don't
and
care
private.
about that. What I care about is I am the promoter for the brothel. And if the word gets out that the brothel's security has been compromised, then that promotion is going down the proverbial spire hole. Do you understand, little Prime?
Let's see how powerfully I can turn up the smile on this man. Let's see what we got.
You have to know if you're gonna try something, Draken's backing you.
Of course. This one is not, anything too bad. I'm just saying, oh yeah, I think 30 might do.
Damn.
So this is a persuasion. Big smile. And I say, well, Mr. Hatches, it's a damn good thing about my confidentiality then, isn't it?
He goes, but
Don't worry, you can rest assured, not a word will be leaked of the nature of any business I may or may not conduct with any businesses that you may represent. Our discretion is utmost, and surely, if there ever was such a problem, I imagine you'd want it resolved rather than left sitting.
well, you see to it that it doesn't get out of hand, because if it does, every investor I have in the cage will be coming for you.
Oh, don't worry, I stake my reputation on every single case.
He turns around and starts stomping down the stairs. You hear Primes, Adderhead, and
Please.
I walk
tell me.
over and I check the hinges and go, I'm going to have to get this thing reinforced.
Please tell me that Athena.
That you what?
Please tell me that it's
Yeah,
Athena,
yeah.
right? Is that right? Please tell me she slams the door on him.
Yeah, she actually smacks him right in the
Great.
ass on his way out. Blam!
Oh, I'm just gonna smirk and say that's why I love you.
Just the sheer disrespect. This is a very important building. I don't have another one.
So I'm hearing don't destroy,
Don't
the, building.
destroy the building.
Got it.
Yes.
Don't
Yes, that's an
harm the
important
building.
note.
Or the building will harm you.
Well, okay. Stakes raised adequately, I think. Would be no exaggeration to say that this one is going to make or break us.
Yep. Especially when that man is involved.
Yeah. I was hoping we'd start picking up some more famous clients, but I'm not sure I wanted it this hot and heavy, you know?
Well, just do
Well,
well.
nothing
Okay.
ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
So Pahan rolls over and says, "So, I vote we celebrate this moment." Once again, in a voice that no one can quite put a language to, and yet everyone understands.
What do you suggest?
Well, I'd like a small bowl of your finest.
Ah, I get out the Wickletongue Special Bard's Reserve.
That's the stuff.
And I pour rounds. He has a little bowl, and I like to think that his bowl is like Waterford Crystal for his whiskey. He's got a regular bowl, but like we have a whiskey bowl for him.
Mm.
I love it.
A round for everybody. It's got a nice smoky body to it.
He'll definitely have his share.
When you go to pour Draken his, he tells you no.
Oh, Jimmy knows Draken very well at this point. He knows you're not interested in a round of anything alcoholic. What is Draken interested in? Because Jimmy would keep something for moments like this.
Water.
He's a water guy. Is he a treats guy? He's like little golden
I don't know if
cookies?
you told him that whiskey is actually called firewater, maybe.
Doesn't take anything that will impact his mind if he needs to run quickly.
Tell you what, I've got a small tray saved in the desk of gold leaf covered biscuits. They shine like the sun.
I will enjoy trying them, sir, as long as you will join me with me, and everyone will.
Pahan will eat whatever you
Of
give
course,
him.
I set out the little tray. So, round of whiskey, round of cookies. Relax nicely into the remainder of our evening after these interruptions.
That sounds good. So you guys go well into the evening, sharing drinks and snacks and cookies. Zill,
Please don't.
He knows what's coming. Ouch.
There's a question of whether or not your bookkeeper down in the basement might like a drink or not.
Well, I should make it up to them. So I should bring them a drink. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be gone for a little while. I'll be downstairs if you need me. Just knock on the door like. till I
Hey,
answer.
Athena can't really drink,
of
but
course, so.
they definitely
can I
she
go with
definitely
you?
wants you to have one with her.
Can I go with you?
Oh, don't say that. Please don't say that.
Please? Hey.
Oh.
No, sorry. Unfortunately, I have to go down there by myself, attend to my books, and I kind of like the peace and quiet and whatnot.
I can promise you I won't speak a word aloud if I go. I've just never talked to a book before, and I think it would be
Your book
fun.
is vibrating. It's hard to hold on to.
I'm sorry, but no. And then I'm just gonna just run down the stairs.
I think it would be interesting. You sure?
He's gone.
I say to
Oh
Nil,
God,
He's
no.
gone.
he's a private guy. You gotta leave him a little space.
Pohan's a little buzzed, and he's actually on his back, like feet kicking, kind of laughing out loud.
Oh, 5 times as old as I'll ever be, and he still can't handle his whiskey.
That's Pohan. All right, so
So I look from Pohan to Freya, like, oh, hey, you're still here. How are
Freya
you?
is still
You
remarkably
alright? You're good?
dignified.
I'm excellent. Thank you.
All right.
So the rest of the night will pass pretty much uneventfully.
I would like to vibe check the druid.
I'd like to do.
I really
Go for it,
would.
go for it.
She's some aspect, so you know.
The
Little
room starts glowing
reserved.
red.
I ask, would anyone like to try a really cool experience?
Whoa.
Volunteer.
It's going to be one of those kind of parties.
Hey.
What experience?
Draken, we've
Draken?
had some interesting experiences. As long as it's not the wand again, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Ooh.
I cast fly on myself and Jimmy and just fly around the
Fly
room.
around.
Oh man, this is great actually. Oh.
Oh yes.
All right, what are you trying to
I have
divine here?
I have nat 20 the insight check, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the vibe check.
Yeah. The vibe check has been critted.
All right, what are you trying to divine?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You can tell Freya would rather be back in the Feywild than be here. But it's the Feywild.
Fair enough.
The food's better, the air's better, the company's better.
It's her home turf, but she's generally a pretty pleasant individual to be around.
Not first home,
Yeah,
but
homesick.
right?
Yeah,
True.
true home. Homesick, yeah. But Freya's honest, stoic, dependable, and loyal. You have no doubt in your mind that if you can get into Freya's good graces, that you will never regret it.
Kind of easy to do, to be honest.
Well, with that goal in mind, I'm gonna move over and start chatting you up. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm just here, you know, enjoying some company with Pohan here.
This is an incredibly mixed room right now. We have one pleasant conversation, a drunken dog, and
Two people
then
flying around.
a
the
dead
room.
man and a dragon are just kind of floating.
Figure eight
Oh, I-
around the room.
Oh, I can't wait for the day that I'm able to do that. Not quite strong enough yet.
Well, I will say this. As the night drifts on and everyone chats and has a good time and shares drinks and snacks, would you guys like to just call our break here for a moment? Or
Yeah.
I think that's probably
All right.
wise.
I would like to do one
What's that?
thing while we do
Uh-huh.
that.
what you got?
Leave the public lobby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, secret.
yeah no, we can do that. We can do that. I'm going to bump us into the Be Right Back screen, and we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Make some tea. Shall return.
Had it lined up with the intro and everything. It was pretty epic. All right.
Beautiful.
We are back.
Huzzah.
So the night passes uneventfully, other than Nell having terrible dreams about cube-shaped stalkers staring at her through windows.
Could you blink once?
All cubes are evil. Spheres, much better.
So
I slept on the couch tonight.
the closest, the closest thing to morning as Sigil can have has arisen.
Hi, Box. Creepy.
So, important questions. Where does everyone live?
Nell,
Do we all live here in this building?
Nell has a home. Zill lives downstairs, or no, Zill actually has a place separate, doesn't you? I believe you said something about that.
Did I?
Or you could live downstairs. That's fine.
I probably live downstairs. I don't think my librarian's gonna let me
Probably not.
sleep somewhere else.
Reside elsewhere.
Jimmy has 3 rooms above the office.
Yes.
So Freya and Draken could be staying in those additional 2 rooms. And then Callons sleeps on the couch in the office with Pohan.
Kong is taking one of his rooftop sabbaticals. Probably for the best, really. He'd be really excited and then really bored in short
If
succession.
you told him you were going to a brothel.
And then it was the brothel for slaking intellectual
Oh, the
lusts.
disappointment.
Yay, boo.
Exactly. Alright, so that works. The combination of whiskey and unassisted flight somehow managed to put Jimmy right out. This is closer to sleep than he's gotten in a long time.
Alright. So, morning, quotation marks, is upon you.
I would like to do something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As I go to sleep, I cast, and like this time I don't mean quotes cast, I mean actually cast Lehman's Tiny Hut.
Okay.
So when the sun rises, you guys just see a black dome on the floor.
Amazing. Oh wait, on my floor? Oh, Jimmy's floor.
Jimmy's floor.
Okay. Thought matters.
Still
So don't-
upstairs, so
Yeah, just don't do it on my floor. You might wake up outside, even in a tiny hut.
We would get to see. So you've cast Lehman's Tiny Hut in my office.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going for you?
Oh, nice and toasty. It's just me in here, so I'm gonna take a nap and go to sleep. So see you in the morning.
Yeah. So it's basically you just created the little force dome around yourself.
Hopefully just created, not summoned.
Oh yeah, no, it's an evocation.
Yeah, created, right?
It's an evocation spell, so you're good. Yeah, we don't need the Lady of Pain knocking on your door or knocking down your door.
Knocking in the house, blowing up
Really,
the house.
we're not sure how she would bother with the door. We just know it doesn't end well for us. Or the door.
Or anything.
Like,
I got this. I got this.
that is true confidence
That
right
is
there.
Some serious confidence. I mean, she keeps every god in the multiverse at bay. You got this.
Honestly, if someone throws open my door and it's the Lady of Pain, I just live with that one.
Well,
So
I didn't need that door.
the dome is opaque from the outside. That's why I said it was
yeah,
dark.
no, you're right. You're right.
You're right.
All right. How early do you rise? Are you a morning person?
Tap, tap, tap.
Probably not. I'm just a normal, ordinary human, you know? Completely normal.
Okay, well, in that case, Jimmy is out of bed, air quotes on bed, he doesn't exactly sleep, and notices you've created a opaque dome
Pohan sleeping on.
in his
Pohan
office.
is sleeping on top of it.
I walk around it once or
Sorry, I didn't
twice.
invite him in.
Remind me, are there like external doors or features on Liamon's tiny hut?
No, I think it's just a force dome.
No.
And I can't see you inside it, it's just like a black or gray or whatever.
Mhm.
I knock on the outside of it. Does it allow sound through? I don't know.
It's a force dome. I don't think it cancels out necessarily. We'll say you hear a ding, ding, ding.
I wake up, look around, command the dome to be lighter again so I can see out.
Okay.
All
You see a
right.
Jimmy looking vaguely in your direction and a dog above you, I guess.
Yeah. There's a tongue slapped across the surface.
All right. Well, let's see here. How to explain this one? What will we do? Oh. Preparing myself to catch Pohan, I will change my focus to nomadic mind and dispel Liamon's tiny hut.
Right. You gonna catch Pohan?
Yes.
He weighs more than you do, are you sure?
Perspiration. Maybe. Ooh.
I think you're in there. I think you got to try.
Yeah, he All right.
He's a big dog.
All right. Let's do this. All right.
You're trying.
Yeah, I'll give it a
Go
shot.
for it. Catching him won't be the issue. Holding him will be. So let's just do a strength check.
Oh no. I'm not gonna hold him. I'm just gonna catch him so he doesn't like take fall damage from falling off the top of this 10-foot
Oh no,
dome.
that's fine. It's just to make sure he doesn't like land on you.
Okay.
You're
All right.
you're redirecting more than catching.
Okay. So athletics is a -2, which gives me a total of 0 for that because I give myself proficiency with that last skill. Last focus change, so that's a number.
13.
13.
All right, you managed to kind of like and lower him to the ground. Your back's going to be a little sore today, but you're good.
Oh, you're so heavy. Ugh.
So, guess you didn't like the couch much, huh?
It's a little it's nice, but I'm just not used to it.
Okay. Okay.
It's not your couch.
I'll see if we can't get
Oh,
something a
I
little
love it.
different if you choose to stay over again. Ugh. Right. Freya's usually up and about pretty early. Draken, he sleeps a little longer than the rest of us, though. So, let's get some breakfast.
Breakfast it is.
All right.
I don't know if we're appointed with a good kitchen, or even if any of us can cook.
In the building?
Honestly, yeah.
No.
Street food it is. Old classic.
There is a number of street vendors nearby, as well as an actual cafe not too far away.
I think I'll hit up the street vendors and buy enough for everyone and bring it back.
All right.
So there's food sitting around to tempt them out of bed.
Okay. So you'll get some questionable sausage links and a small plate of sweaty cheese.
Sweaty cheese. Oh, I'm going to try real hard on this. I feel like after a year, Jimmy has become adept at finding food that is not poisonous to anyone, that is not spoiled, that is not cannibalism for any of the people involved, and is not, like, made of pure elemental fire or something.
Oh, you're good. It's all edible. I will say that.
That's good enough. We are in the hive, after all. It's not going to be the finest on
This
Earth.
is very true.
It's because you're not on Earth.
We're not on anything anymore. We're up in the sky, my friend. We are in the cage. So you got me there. Yeah, what's it run me?
Top of spot.
All together, 15 silver.
All right. I will deduct it. Has been deducted.
All right. So with that said, everybody who wants to eats and are satiated, at least to the point of lacking any further need.
Yep.
Can I
Alright.
find the eye box?
Find the eye box.
Find him. Where
What?
is he?
It finds you.
Is he right behind me?
Dun dun dun.
He's right behind me, isn't he? He's.
No, he's nowhere to be seen currently.
Well, if that's the case, can I find creature the eye box?
Do you want to try?
I'm so glad he's gone. I just don't know.
You want to feel assured somehow.
I just don't want to turn around and have him right over my shoulder again like last time with his big eyes just unblinking.
Might have an idea about the eye box.
I'm just gonna shudder and reconsider and not do that.
Okay.
Over a very small portion of sausages and cheese, Jimmy asks you. So yeah, the little eye contraption. What'd you say it was called again?
Modron?
Modron.
But I call it the eye box on purpose because it's creepy.
Yeah,
It's a creepy little eye
it was
box.
pretty creepy, and honestly, I have to congratulate you for negotiating your contract before that came up. That is going to be a bit of an issue in our line of work, Nil. So, quite frankly, I wanted to take you down to the brothel today for the opening phases of the investigation. Specifically, because, I mean, everybody involved with this business is already kind of an old hand. We haven't had to work on our onboarding process very much. So it was going to be a good opportunity, but if that eye box follows you everywhere, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Not necessarily everywhere. It just follows me like 2 places and then to the door.
Even
Mhm.
that's
Go in
pretty
building.
iffy. You saw how much Hatchis was concerned about
can roll.
secrecy in this matter.
I think I can run him off if I try, but like I had to find him first.
I gotta ask, who's even sending the thing? Do you know?
I haven't been able to catch it to find out. It flies at 60 feet, so
Zippy one, huh?
and my dogs only run 30, so
Dogs?
yeah, the dogs.
The dogs.
Hmm?
Dogs, you say? Care to enlighten me about the dogs?
All right. I will enlighten you about the dogs by casting Shadow Beasts. So, 2 Shadow Beasts appear in an unoccupied space within 60 feet. And they're going to appear to your left and right behind you. And walk towards me.
Describe the dogs to me. What does Jimmy see?
So,
Here, 1 second.
they have blackness.
Oh no, stream is muted.
I got it. Sorry.
Stream is unmuted. Hello, everyone. All right. I don't know how long we were muted for. I'm not sure how much of a recap.
Just a couple of minutes. Basically, she had the dogs come out, move in unison. Freya was unnerved based upon their past.
Jimmy is searching one for eyes, and they kind of have eyes. I am actually going to look one of them dead in the eyes and give it an intimidating glare. There's my intimidation check.
Can they be intimidated? Or are they just phantasms?
I don't know, but he's trying.
I don't think they have any intelligence of their own, do they?
They can cast fear by themselves. So I doubt. Yeah, their intelligence is a +2, so
Okay.
I think they're good. Do you want me to roll for it?
That's interesting. They're
Because they could respond to his intimidation by casting fear on him. But that's not the
yeah,
goal
no,
here.
I don't think they would attack.
Yeah, they're just kind of sitting back, you know. That's the
They would
point.
intentionally lose eye contact with Jimmy. We'll say that.
All right. That is acceptable. That
Here's a
is
question.
Jimmy's experiment conducted.
How does Pohan react?
Oh, he actually. You guys are in the office still?
Yep.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at him and snorts and rolls over, like he doesn't even acknowledge them.
Cool.
And
Bless
then
you.
Freya bends down and like strokes Pohan again.
Yeah, that's Pohan. It's like, yeah, whatever.
All right.
Ah, yes. The dogs.
Yep. the
Very
dogs.
good. Very good. Jimmy
right.
turns his attention back away from the dogs with some difficulty because he was also unnerved by things that appeared so close to the sort of void, blighted energy of most of his home plane now.
As you do that, I gesture to them, and they stealth.
Oh.
They stealth, you say?
Poof.
Yeah, their specific conjuration for this says that they use the monster stat block. The stat block in the monster manual. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And they have a +7 to stealth, so
Did you say conjuration?
not conjuration, but like the thing that the thing in the big fat PDF that I'm working off of here, dude.
If it is a conjuration spell, then we're going to have to do a little bit of retconning or we're all about to get blown up.
It's a bit of a tough one because it's not a
Yeah,
spell.
these are psychic phenomena.
And speaking as
In that
someone
case,
who
we're good.
started with wizard, it's kind of tough for me to talk about what I'm doing right here because I'm pretending to be a sorcerer, so I have to say cast and stuff like that.
Of course, of course.
But
Strange
You know.
manifestations.
eh,
Actually, Church, give me a check. I want to know if Jimmy is aware enough of how magic works here to know that summonings should not function.
Give me a Arcana.
All right.
okay.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
you
Good ass
are
roll.
very familiar with the concept of don't open a portal or you'll disappear.
Nice.
And that's a portal of any kind. The lady don't play.
Alright.
Jimmy sits back in his chair for a while. He's not breathing, blinking, or doing anything that looks remotely like being alive. And as like 5 or 10 seconds pass, he looks back and forth. He looks at you, he looks at the dogs,
Can he see
looks
the
back
dogs?
at you. I mean, roll him a stealth and I'll roll a perception.
I did. It's 20.
Where's that? Oh, okay. I'll roll your perception. Don't worry. I cannot see the dogs.
Where did it go, George?
They vanished.
That's the floor, by the way. The worst I can perceive is a 10.
Yeah. Nice.
That's funny.
If you had rolled just slightly worse, my passive perception would have got it.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Jimmy looks around for the dogs,
You figure she's dismissed them.
and as yeah, as we're not all suddenly someplace much less pleasant, he comes to the conclusion, okay, that was not a summoning, it was just
An
weird.
illusion.
Okay. All right. We're left with a dilemma, anyways. About how reasonable is it for you to accompany us on this first outing for this particular case, if there's the risk of you being observed by an unknown party?
Well, I could always go and stay here.
Run that by me again?
I could just follow you there with my mind's eye and stay here in the office.
Is Draken awake yet? Out of character ask.
I'd like to think, yeah. I've if there's food and stuff, I've being
You've come out.
impeccable. Yes,
Of course.
completely dressed and everything. Of
Draken
course.
like sausage.
It's always. I look over at Draken when she mentions she has a mind's eye and can follow us observing.
Yeah, do I get a check? Because there are some of the things she's mentioned that aren't jiving with his knowledge of magic.
Give me a. We'll do Arcana again.
Okay.
Nope. Typical spellcasting.
Just like the simulations.
Typical spellcasting.
I couldn't have written this better.
All right, if you're not saying anything to Jimmy.
I have an idea. How does the iCube seem to follow? Do you think it sees you?
I would think so.
It looks at her a lot.
Using eyes.
Yeah.
At this point, Draken reaches up and takes a hat that nobody can see off his head. I have a item here that can change your appearance. I would want it back, but you could perhaps look at something else.
Sure. That'll work too, I guess.
We're gonna at least put it to the test.
Why not?
Is this the hat of
And-
disguise?
It is. Draken just simply uses it as to make it appear as he's not wearing the hat in normal occasions. Changes
The
it to
hat
appear
of
when he wants to.
self-negation.
If I'm in the room, on me and my knowledge of things, I'm going to simply state, Mojans usually can see very well through illusions, so I hope that hat is very powerful.
They can see through illusions.
They have magical eyes.
I'm about to put the hat on and I hear you say magical eyes, and then I'm like, ugh.
You just can't win with this thing,
Well,
can
then-
you?
It's alright. I have to pull out one of my lesser known skills. I pull out my disguise kit.
Doing it the old-fashioned way.
So the hat together with the kit might work.
Yeah, combine them, see what happens.
You put on both, but with two different disguises, so that if it sees through the hat of disguise, it sees somebody else and assumes it is not Nil.
Worth a shot, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny. Alright, so you're in the dual disguise. Are we heading out, or?
I think we have to decide what the plan is, particularly. This is just information gathering. We need to get to know, who, properly speaking, is Delora.
Alright.
And collect what information we can from the other girls at the brothel and from Fall from Grace herself. There's a lot to do on that front. Should everybody go for this? I think so. The only question is it discreet to roll up to a brothel that only has, 9 girls? In a party of 5?
The squad.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a popular place.
True enough.
Question before we move on. Do I need to roll for the disguise?
Yeah, if you're gonna use the kit.
Damn.
Do I need to roll for the hat?
No, that hat's a magic item, so.
Okay.
Sleight of hand.
Is that what it is for disguise kit now?
I don't know. I've never actually used it.
I think it's a
Deception?
dex check plus your proficiency.
That sounds right. Let's go with that. Why not?
Can I help you?
Sure, I'll let it go. We'll give you advantage for the assist.
And I'll give Draken guidance. Cast guidance
There
on
you
him.
go.
Ah, yes. This will be epic.
Alright. So here's the first one. Second one. And then what does guidance do?
I think it adds a +4 to an ability check, a 1d4.
So 20.
There you go. What does Nil now look like?
Right, isn't it?
So, I just need a ruling on which stacks where. The disguise kit is under the hat, right?
Yes, disguise kit under hat.
Okay.
I tell you to pick a disguise with a hat, and whoever you turn yourself into, I make you look like that. So that the hat and the disguise kit mesh to make it even harder to see through.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Nil is now a small red kobold
Alright.
wearing a pirate's hat.
Pirate kobold. That works. Alright. This should be interesting.
My God, I'm good.
Pirate kobold it is.
Well, that sure is a thing.
At the size I could ride the dogs.
Let's not summon the dogs unless it comes up, you know?
The dogs.
All right.
Yeah, those dogs rather disturb me.
You know what? For the sake of discretion, let's split up our arrival to the brothel. Anybody who might be observing there would probably notice a very large group rolling up. But if we show up, by ones and twos, we might be all right.
Alright. So you're going to stagger your arrival?
Yeah, let's stagger them by, 15 or 20 minutes in between. And, see, we got 5. 2 groups of 2 and 1 person solo. Alright. Somebody should go with Nil, since she's under observation. They can help keep an eye out.
I'll, wait. I will. I just know I'm gonna feel the pain later.
All right. Freya, you want to partner up or you want to roll solo?
I'm rather fine with either.
You guys go ahead. I'll go solo.
Make a grand entrance. All right.
Okay.
And where am I?
Sounds good. All right. You are with Zill.
All right. Okay, book
Supposed to show
let's do this.
2 hours.
All right.
So who is...
All right, so we start rolling out. I think it'll be Freya and I first, then Draken, then Nil and Zill.
Alright, so... Freya and Jimmy, as you're moving through the streets... let's say... you're coming around a slightly darkened section of the street, and under a lamp you see these 2 horribly ugly individuals. Fencer trolls, if you're familiar. Twins, by the looks of them. One of them is sitting there with a set of bongo drums going doom, 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 doom. And the other one is snapping his fingers slightly out of time with a beret on. He starts going into some beat poetry. Yeah. Buttons for eyes. Bones on my hips. Yeah.
Oh man. They near the office? Have I seen these guys before?
Yeah, you've seen these guys before. They're horrible.
They seem pretty
They're
memorable.
horrible. They're horrible. They're trying to get your attention.
So their art is just bad?
Yeah, they're just terrible, terrible beat poets.
Lol.
Are they very large?
Yeah, I mean, they're fencer trolls still.
Yeah, they're pretty big. Oh. I would say that Jimmy will toss things in the collection plate if they've got one out.
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah.
Hey,
Come by to
boys.
hear the poetry in motion.
Just on the way to work, but I do love to hear it as I pass.
Working's for the stiffs, man. Stick around. You dropped a dime, we at least owe you a good groove.
Nah, boys, it's work today. It's work today. I have a great sympathy for the stiffs.
Suit yourself, Jimmy. By the way, you got a little cube on your tail.
I turn, peacefully back, looking like I'm just looking at them, and I check in my peripheral for the cube.
So a little further back, you see Nil and Zill in your staggered formation. And peeking out of a doorway behind them, you see the Modron.
I pop another silver in the plate. And I say, sharp eyes, boys. You keep
Sharp
at it.
eyes, sharp tongue, sharp wit, and sharp skill, my man. Yeah.
To be so complete. I say to Freya, well, that was a pretty quick bust.
Yeah, indeed.
As we move onwards, trying to step up the pace again, we may have lost a little time on the stagger since we saw them behind us.
So, double time, pacing it up.
Yes.
All right. So,
yeah, just to lengthen out the space. We're not going to hide from the Modron anymore, but any other observers might still be gotten by the gambit.
right. So at this point, Nil and Zill, you are approaching the Fencer Troll twins. Doing their beat poetry.
Just keep walking. Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
He's shaking his hat. Chinka, chinka, chinka.
At least two in there already.
Just a couple
Did I
of hard hat.
visibly
Oh, my
see
pocket.
Jimmy give them some
Yeah,
coins?
you saw Jimmy stop and talk to him for a minute and then look back at you guys.
Oh.
Hey, my man. Let me lay down some smack on you.
What are their names? I assume I might know if they're that infamous.
Morven and Phineas. You know these two.
Morven. Phineas.
Hey.
I'd say it's a pleasure, but
Pleasure drained out long ago, my man. Fulfilled by the abject and succinct torture of sin upon the brow of the fencer.
yes, I know the history well. And I guess I will hesitantly give them 2 silver
The bookworm speaks with the coin of the jink. Bring it on, my man. We shall lay down upon you the beauty of the sadness of my soul.
I wish I had time for this wonderful. You know what? Just write it down for me. And I have to go. I'm with Jimmy today. We're doing.
Oh, you with
as
you
we
with my
probably
man
told you.
Jimmy. Jimmy, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is the little guy with you too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the little guy, he points behind you.
Yep, I'm here too.
No, that
going
little
to-
guy.
Hold on, I have to see how
And
badly.
the other little guy.
Oh no.
I'll do a sleight of hand for this one. Why not? Oh, okay, that's pretty good. All right, so I will stealthily turn my head and nonchalantly look behind me. How close is the little guy?
About 10 feet behind you, the Modron's just standing there staring at both of you.
Great. That is ever so fantastic. Well, thank you for telling me that. Hey, you mind, giving him some wonderful stories in place of me,
Man, do you know who that cat is? I ain't gonna mess. Nope.
Yeah.
Elim got his own thing going, brother. Ain't my jam.
Ah. Well. All right then. You both have a good day. Good luck with the coin, and keep telling your stories. They're very enlightening.
Peace be upon you, and may the happiness drain from your ears like a sausage in the worst way. With a U.
I felt the pun.
Grip my teeth. And yes, of course. I'll do that. Great. Let's go, little one.
Now that you're aware, you can actively hear the chink of the Modron following you.
We're gonna have to deal with it eventually, but hopefully it won't walk into the brothel and ruin everything. For right now, let us just get there, and if it walks in, I guess we'll have to do something.
Alright. So, Draken, you're passing the twins now. Are you going to acknowledge them?
I am just gonna keep walking and smiling. Do I see the creature though?
Yeah. Although it doesn't really look like a threat to you at this point. You're not really familiar enough with it to pick it out from the rest of the weirdness that you see in the streets. It's just this cube-shaped creature with little wings and legs and arms that just happens to be walking the same direction.
I'm gonna walk up to it.
You can clear the distance?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk. I'm not gonna speed up, but I'm gonna keep walking and make sure that I can veer over so that I'm gonna be next to it. So I can start a conversation with it.
Okay. This should be interesting. Alright, so you'll have to pick up pace a bit, but you can catch up.
Okay.
Alright. It's clinking along.
Alrighty. When I get up close enough to it, I'm gonna walk alongside it, matching it pace for pace. Howdy! I'm Draken. What's your name?
It looks at you, eyeballs you up and down, and says, "Assessment complete, lesser form, slightly shiny, need not worry. No need to spread. Cannot use this. Continue." Clink, clink, carries on like you're not there.
I'll continue. I'm gonna treat that as your name. Because I feel like it right now. So what are you doing here?
Clink, 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 clink.
Call you Clink? Would you prefer that? Is that a better name for you? I like that. Clink. All right, you can be Clink. Clink. You apparently were hanging out last night. Now, if you wanted to, you could have just asked to come in. It's all right. We like making new friends. Like I said, my name is Draken. So, is there something I can help you with, Clink?
Clink.
I do appreciate the shiny part, because you're right. I like to think of myself as shiny.
Clink, 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 clink.
Hey.
A mightily poor conversationalist, this one.
That's right, I'm gonna make up for it. Now, are there more of you? One. But I'm guessing, from my understanding, there's multitudes of you. What's that like?
He still hasn't responded.
Draken's just gonna keep talking. Whole entire time. You can keep going if you want, or if you just want to like jump ahead. But yeah, he's gonna spend the whole entire time talking to this thing.
All right, well, as you get within eyesight of the brothel, he actually flaps his little ridiculous wings and flies away.
I cast Fly and go after him.
Okay.
Oh.
What's your flight speed?
60
Okay,
feet.
so you're basically keeping pace with him. How?
Still talking the whole entire time.
Now he's going away from the brothel. Are you gonna go out there alone over the spire with him?
I'm gonna go high enough so I can see kind of where he's going, and then I'm just gonna come back to
It
the
looks like
ground.
he's flying across the city, like across the donut.
I can stay up for a good 10 minutes without any problems. So yeah, I want to see until I lose sight of him.
Okay. Yeah, he's beelining, straight line.
I keep that in memory where he's going, and then I come back down and go and walk towards the
Okay.
brothel.
All right. So as we arrived, we would have gone inside to wait within for other people arriving, making it less obvious that we were arriving as a group.
All right. Okay.
So play it as you will.
Inside. So inside, I should say that the building is remarkably ornate. Like, this is impressive. Gorgeous building here in the clerk's ward that you've won to. Filled with arches and pillars and grand ornate filigreed fencework, gossamer curtains. Entering in is just rife with the scents, sounds, and smells of everything delectable, everything beautiful, and everything magnetic. You're immediately put at ease by the plush carpeting and the almost sensual artwork that lines the walls. Greeting you as you walk in is Fall from Grace. She comes up with a big smile, a polite curtsy and nod, and once again lifts her hand out for you to kiss.
But of course, and once again, I will make it ornate. Let's see what we got here. Just about the same as last time.
It's
Little
it's
flavor.
doable. It's doable.
Mhm.
It's definitely doable. So She says, Jimmy, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I knew I could count on you.
Yes. I'm quite glad to have made it here. It is more beautiful than I expected.
Oh, well, the surface is just the surface. Merely scratching, as they say. But enough.
I expect we'll see a little
Enough
more.
about that. Please, let me show you to Dolores' room.
Yes, we'll have more of our group arriving. I felt it might be a little better for discretion to have small groups rather than rolling up all kitted out as we
Should
are.
we wait?
Oh, yes, let's wait. It's actually something that we were curious to see.
Okay.
One of our parties arriving in disguise. Wanted to perform a little experiment with
Okay.
it.
So the rest of the groups roll in. Draken was actually pretty close behind your second grouping, so because of the Modron incident. So everybody rolls in unless anyone says otherwise. Okay. Everybody's inside.
All arrivals.
There are a number of people, of course, in the central lobby here, talking, having drinks, eating, discussing heady and intellectual topics all around on plush divas and couches and chairs, carpets.
As Nil and Zill arrive, I approach them and speak slightly more quietly. I saw that the eye box did have your tail there.
Just a little.
Yep.
It's a damn shame, but fortunately we put Draken after. You probably saw what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're muted, by the way, Zill. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
I hear.
No,
Oh.
Zill.
Zill.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kris. That's going to be an ongoing difficulty, I think.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to live with that
All
one.
good. So,
All right.
So yes, the disguise did not appear to work as far as the Modron is concerned.
Yes. As Draken arrives, I ask him, how'd lookout position go?
He was not a very good conversationalist.
That is made out of metal. I can kind of guess. I'm surprised he could speak at all.
You know, he did call me shiny, so I'll give him some of that. He at least acknowledged how shiny I am, because I do put work in on that, despite what people
His
might
brain in there somewhere.
think. We talked for a bit. He stopped. Went flying. He can fly as fast as he is. We figured that out.
Okay.
And he took a beeline off for the other side of the city. General idea which way he went.
Interesting.
I figured I didn't want to. Might be needed here, so it was better not to go handle that all and leave you all alone.
Oh, yeah. Long as it flew off and it didn't try and follow us in, I think I'm all good.
It did say some other things, but honestly, I wasn't really paying attention to him.
Well, we can't be bothered to hold a proper conversation. What good is he?
We talked. It was the best conversation I've had in a while. To be fair,
Kris
it was
is
90% me.
signing off. Yeah. All right. Well, it's one question answered. If not a problem solved as effectively as we want, I think we're on.
All right.
Get to it.
So, Grace leads you back. The central lobby actually has 9 hallways that lead off from it, each going to its own room at the end of the short hallway. She takes you down the very first one on your left as you enter. The hallways, once again, are illustrious. They're beautifully decorated, plush carpet, textured wallpaper, gilded filigree. It's really nice. At the end of it, a wooden door with a whole bunch of clockwork mechanisms that actually latch and unlatch it. She opens it up, and inside is an extremely well-ordered, very simplistic and yet elegant room with two very comfortable armchairs facing each other in front of a very gentle fire. Sitting in one of them is a stunningly beautiful figure of a woman, wearing loose-fitting clothing, but she is unnaturally still, her head slightly slumped over.
I look back and forth, then I approach the figure sitting in the chair.
Grace says, "This is Delora." You're actually a little taken aback. If this is an automaton, you have never in your entire existence heard of, much less experienced, craftsmanship of this level. Her figure is indistinguishable from a human.
She's wearing loose-fitting clothing. Can I see perhaps a gaping hole in her chest?
The clothing itself does not appear to be torn. It is loose, like hanging loose. She's leaned over forward, and it's loose around the bust area.
Instead of appearing incredibly without decorum, I turn to Grace and I inquire. You see, this is an excellent learning opportunity for me. I know very little about the finer inner workings of automatons. Exactly how much of a task was it to steal her heart?
Well, whoever did it wasn't stupid. Number one, Delora is one of our more intelligent courtesans. The fact that somebody could have, I don't know, somehow done this is beyond me. There's no damage, there's no signs of violence or anything.
Now, I'm familiar with the placement of my own heart, and I know more or less what it's for. Would you enlighten me how that might work for Delora?
Of course. She very gingerly runs a finger across the back of Delora's head, and till she hits a small, almost impossible to see latch. And as she taps that latch, a small hatch sinks down just barely and then slides, revealing an opening in the small of her back. Inside is an empty cavity where a heart should be.
I would like to do one or two things. The first one is I would like to attempt to notice and memorize the location of the latch. Whatever role you might think is appropriate for that.
Just perception.
All right. There's my
No
attempt.
problem, it's noted.
All right. Let me make a note of that. Okay, in addition to that, I would like to examine the interior of the mechanism.
Okay.
I don't know if one requires respect for this. Is it like examining an open chest cavity or not? But Jimmy doesn't have the greatest amount of respect anyway, so he just gets up close and has a look.
It's hard to say, like, this is engineering beyond like human understanding. You can see kind of how something should fit in there, more or less, but beyond that, this is insane.
Cannot make hide nor hair of it, which is fine by Jimmy. He mostly wanted to know if there was a locking mechanism, other than, knowing the location of the latch.
Just the latch, although you can tell by looking that if the latch were not currently depressed, you would not be able to tell it was there.
Of course.
Everyone is in the room right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Give me a perception rolls, please.
There you go.
Dang. Some pretty good rolls.
Let's change that.
All right. And okay. So, Nell and Jimmy, you get the sense that somebody's staring at you from the doorway.
I turn quickly to look.
As you turn, you see a small, very attractive, short-haired woman kind of peeking around the open doorway. Her eyes get real big when she notices you turn, and she ducks behind the doorway.
Grace, do you happen to employ a woman of somewhat shorter stature? Jimmy gives a brief description.
Oh, yes, of course, a poor dear Echo. Yes, she's one of mine. She's a dear. She's very, very concerned about Dolores.
Oh, understandably, she seems a little shy as well. We'll have to talk to her later.
That might be difficult. Echo's a mute.
Not much of a speaker? Ah. You're right, that would be a little difficult.
She's an excellent listener, though.
I'll have to think on the easiest way to do that one, I guess. But okay.
Yeah.
Nil becomes more suspicious by the moment. But, okay. Returning to the matter at hand, you say the whole place is very well ordered.
The room, everything seems to be in its place. Like if it weren't immaculately dusted, there would be a dust ring around every object in the item as if it had never moved from that spot.
It's all too perfect. I ask. I assume this happened while she was with a client?
Well, I assume. I mean, I normally take very good care of my girls, and I'm normally very attentive of who is where. However, as I said, there was no struggle, no noise, no fight. There's no reason for an
Would you happen to know who was the last person, or client, I should say, who saw her before you found her like this?
I'm wary to give that out, but I guess given the situation...
Oh, of course, that's right. We really should. Jimmy draws the contracts. He says, this one is for you. This is our standard contract for services. You may examine it at your leisure, but I assure you it quite guarantees our confidentiality.
Alright, so
either word doesn't get out, or we all go on.
She looks it over, waves her fingers, and her signature appears in a scorched line across the bottom. In that case,
That's a first.
Otachan the bell ringer was the last one to see Delora.
Is he a regular?
Otachan? Oh, to a degree, I suppose. Otachan's Otachan.
I don't suppose this is someone I know,
He-
so Jimmy would want more
You
details.
can try and see if you know anything about it.
All right. Oh, that's a question mark R, not a slash R. There you go.
No. Not familiar.
Could you tell me anything about him?
I'll tell you what Zill can.
Zill can. That's right. Zill is
So,
here.
Zill will tell you that he's the head of the biggest courier network in the city. He's also cursed. There's a typhoon.
How
There's
exactly?
a tiefling, a very powerful tiefling named Nostaroth of the Umber Scales, who he crossed at some point. Nostaroth was the head of the Temple of the Abyss, and Otachan kind of got involved with one of his underlings, pissed him off. And so Nostaroth cursed Otachan with the bells of Baphomet, basically making him hear an endless clangor of deafening bells. Always, 24/7. Damn near drove the guy mad. But he sold himself into service for a suit of magical armor that gives him some degree of relief from the curse as long as he wears it.
Okay.
Can't imagine why Otachan would do this. I mean, he's successful.
Neither can I. Yes, but I'm sure you know people better than I do, perhaps.
Well, he's a human.
They're often prey to desires that they can rarely control.
I know a thing or two about desires.
I can only imagine so. All right. So, obviously that's one good one. If you have records of, you know, who is seeing what particular girls that date back any amount of time, it'd be good to have a list.
Only what's in my mind.
With a mind like yours, I will trust it. If you could produce a list for us, then we could discuss. That would be most helpful.
Well, that could be difficult. A list. I mean, I'm compromising a lot of people already. Confidentiality aside, I have to honor my agreements with my clientele.
I do understand. I do understand that one. All right. We'll work as we go. We'll try to get as little as possible that we need to be discreet about to begin with, so I'm sure we can start with this.
Okay.
We'll also want to speak to Echo. Tell me a little about your establishment. Do people often visit each other in the day? Would, Delora have spoken to anyone else, on a normal day?
Well, I mean, it's a popular place. Numerous people come through here.
Mhm.
But, I mean, if you want to go talk to Echo, we can start there, I suppose. She's in the next hallway
That would be a
over.
lovely start. A difficult start, but a lovely start.
Alright, so Echo it is then?
Echo it is. As we walk, I call a huddle of the squad.
Okay.
Hi, Huddle One.
Draken, Nil, we got you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I say. All right, quick question. How do we speak to a mutant?
You don't.
Not verbally, anyways.
We can just write back and forth, like bare minimum. We got any better tricks up our sleeve?
I believe someone mentioned telepathy.
Hey.
No.
Yes.
Well, it's your first day on the job, so normally we wouldn't put you interviewing somebody, but how you feeling?
I feel short and chatty.
Short and chatty.
You got me there. You got me there.
Am kobold with big mouth, can talk lots. Yes.
I look over at Draken. Does
Right,
the
it's just
disguise
snickering.
change your brain? Do you start to become a kobold? Because that's actually really inconvenient if so.
I just give Jimmy a look and give him one of those patented Draken Jimmy signals of we need to talk later.
All right. Let's start with the paper. We'll fall back to telepathy if we have to.
So,
I'd like to also think that Jimmy has realized that Draken's not nearly as stupid as he lets on most times.
Oh, yeah. We've worked far too many cons for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so onwards to Echo's chamber.
Alright. So Grace points you down actually the next hallway, the second one. Once again, it is beautifully decorated, very cozy as you go on down. It's a simple wooden door at the end. You open it up into a welcoming room. Inside is a reclining couch and a chair right next to it. Plush carpets, sweet incense. And just behind the chair and couch, you see a pair of feet sticking out from behind them on the floor, and a quickly spreading pool of blood.
Ah, shit, it's gonna be one of those. I rush over.
You rush over. It's Echo, face down on the carpet, bleeding out rapidly.
Okay. Freya?
I rush
I-
over
yeah,
and I
me too.
cast Cure Wounds.
Cure wounds. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Roll
got
your-
it.
roll your-
Never mind.
your heal.
Okay. Da 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 da. Check my thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cast that at a second level, just because this is a little
All right.
urgent. So hopefully this will be enough to save her because it was pretty like soon.
14 points.
Yeah, 14 points.
Okay. The wound seals, and she appears to slightly recover. She's a little disheveled and shaken.
All right, did Fall from Grace enter the room
No,
with
she
us?
stayed back in the main lobby.
I say, all right, hold down the fort, and I rush out for Fall from Grace.
Okay.
Ooh, and I'm sitting there by Echo, like, you know, making sure she's okay, and Freya's just like breathing deep sighs of relief that they were able to get there quick enough.
Well, as Jimmy's running out and you're holding Echo, Echo makes eye contact with you, and very gently reaches up with one hand and places it on your cheek. And in this moment, It's as if you can feel every hint of care and worry drain out of your body. It's almost as if she's taking it into herself, empathetically. She smiles gently and her eyes close, and she goes into a relaxed state of sleep.
Oh, like sleep,
Not death. Not
permanent,
death,
right?
no, just sleep.
Okay.
All right. So Jimmy,
Okay.
Freya
So-
just like looks at her gently and gives her a gentle smile and starts stroking her
Okay.
hair.
so Jimmy,
Freya's a toucher. She's a feely
Oh, yeah.
person.
well, so's Echo. It's all right. So Grace is in the lobby speaking with a client.
Jimmy ran until he hit the barrier between the private and public area where anybody else could see him, and then he simply swapped over to a swift stride.
Okay.
And composed himself a little bit. You don't want to spook the marks. You don't want to spook the clients.
Exactly.
But I do attempt to get her attention without obviously interrupting the discussion with the
All
client.
right. Give me a perception roll real quick, please.
There you are.
Okay, as you're approaching, you see a tiefling kind of look at you angrily right at the exit and then just bolt out the door.
Tieflin looking at me at the exit. Did I catch a look at his face?
Decently, yeah.
Decently. Alright. I'm gonna note down that I saw him on the way out.
Okay.
Alright. But yeah, I try to get Fall from Grace's attention.
All right. You got it?
I say, Grace, there has been a small issue. You may wish to come back with us to the private area so we can discuss it.
Without a moment's hesitation, like she bolts down the hall towards Echo's room, leaving you in the dust like she's
Excellent.
trucking.
Seeing that she's willing to run in front of the marks, I pick up the
Alright.
pace.
Yeah, so she busts into the door and just falls on her knees next to Echo and like immediately begins to cradle her head and stroke her face and look her over for wounds.
She's okay. We were able to get to her in time, and I was able to heal her wounds. But there was an attempted murder.
Strangely enough, and based upon your knowledge of succubi, this is a little odd. She looks choked up. Like she has some genuine concern on her face for this person, this human.
I think if we know her by reputation, we understand she's a
Re-
bit of an unusual one as succubi go.
Yeah, reformed. All right. So yeah, she says, "Thank you for saving my girl."
Oh, of course. Right now she's sleeping, but she'll be okay.
Grace stands up and she looks angry at this point. She says, "Pardon me, I'll be right back." Turns around, storms out the door.
All right. While the room is, still fairly fresh, I would like to get down to some investigating. I'd like to look for signs of struggle, anything that may have been left here. Just perhaps blood spatter.
Okay. Well, the wound
See if Echo had been moved.
was in the abdomen.
Okay.
It was definitely a slice or a stab of some sort. Give me let's do investigation.
All right.
As you're looking from
And-
out in the lobby, as you're looking, you hear Grace, voice raised. She just shouts, "We're closed! Get out!"
Oh shoot.
And you hear people clear
And
in.
I'm gonna use Stapleton's Derby's luck bonus on this one in particular.
Nice.
You may want to turn off the audio that is
Oh, yeah.
playing the people
That's a
chatting.
good point.
What, we're not having a party in the midst of this?
That is a good point.
There was one briefly.
We'll go back to this. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you hear the place clearing out. You're searching around very well. You find a wicked-looking barbed dagger. One with serrated, hooked teeth on both sides of the blade, as if it's meant to completely disembowel.
Yoy.
Does it still have blood on it?
It does. It does still have blood on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cold to the touch. In a way that
Interesting.
draws you to it in a weird way. It's like a, not in a compulsion type of way, but more like a strange magnetism. Like you feel some sort of connection to it, Jimmy.
Jimmy is suspicious of magical connections, and it's a recently used murder weapon. So, I set it on some cloth from my pack and wrap it up. Alright, anything else of note?
Beyond that, you do find. Hang on. Let me get this for you. I'm gonna put this in Discord for you.
Alright.
I'll just put it in Sigil Confidential there.
Gotcha,
You do
gotcha.
find a brooch that appears to have been dropped in haste. It looks like that. Now, Zill will probably recognize it, but if you want, I'll give you a chance to.
Oh, sure, I'll roll on it. What you want me to roll?
Intelligence. No idea.
Not this
No
one.
idea.
I set it aside next to the dagger wrapped in cloth.
No, you've seen this before. You know it's one of the factions here in Sigil,
Oh,
but you're
okay.
not really sure which one. You're not familiar enough with the factions to know for sure.
He's still working on that one.
Zill,
Bit of a history lesson for him.
yeah,
coming
no,
up.
Zill quite happily tell you. Oh, that's the Dustman.
Oh.
Those bastards. He hates the Dustman.
I can't help but feel like this is a personal attack.
Truly, who wouldn't?
Another time.
Alright.
Another time, another campaign, no relevance times. We have no emotional connection.
Examining.
Well, you know, ironically, Noah was actually.
She missed it by
This
this
much.
much.
So yeah, the Dustman.
Okay.
It's a brooch for the Dustman for sure.
Alright. It feels like an obvious plant, but given how quickly it went from we saw Echo to Echo has been stabbed, they may not have had time for an obvious plant. Might be a legitimate slip up. We'll find out.
Could be. So Grace is at the door. She's got her.
Examining one last thing specifically. Was she stabbed where she lay, right there, sort of behind the couch? Or is there a blood trail from where she was dragged behind the couch?
There's no blood trail. It looks like she was stabbed and then fell.
Okay.
She's
Good.
she's a waif of a woman. She's a tiny little thing. And I mean, this was a crime of cruelty, not a crime of passion. You can tell. Like it wouldn't have taken much to hurt her.
Hmm. Okay. Grace has returned. I imagine she's got something to say.
She's standing at the doorway, holding her forehead in her hand. She's a little teary-eyed. And she says, I've checked on the rest of the girls. Everyone else is fine. Please tell me you know who's done this.
That's a tricky one. I did see, when I came out to grab you, there was a tiefling in the door that ran. He looked at me and then he ran.
Tiefling? Well...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's a rough one. I mean, tieflings are rife in this area.
Yeah, I did get a look at him, and Jimmy provides a description to the best of his ability from his perception at the time.
Let's see here. Oh, wow. She thinks for a moment. She says that it couldn't be. There's no way. That sounds like Nye.
Nye?
Sly Nye. He's a legal advocate in the court of woe. I mean, he's literally a pro bono lawyer for those who can't afford legal help.
Well, not to insult his credentials or anything, but that's the only lead I got for you there. Because I do not know him. He shot me an angry look and bolted.
I can't imagine why he would want to do this. But...
well, let's not, leap immediately to that. We've got a sighting of him, and we've got a little bit of evidence here that might interest you. I gesture and I unfold the cloth that I've put over the dagger.
That thing is wicked.
Yeah, I would not want to get hit by that. It's a little... Jimmy kind of drifts off, and he touches the hilt. Cold,
Well, I'll not touch it.
Can't say I recommend it, and then I fold it back up. Alright, but... this is... obviously not what you initially were hiring me on for, but to offer a kind of unsolicited opinion. Either the theft of that heart was much more significant to somebody than we expected, or maybe a party that has designs on everyone here.
Well, you're the expert, detective.
Tell you what, I'll throw that one in as a freebie. I'll let you know if the costs start to pile up on it.
Spare no expense, Jimmy.
This is... even for Sigil, this is a little bit much, don't you think?
Well, it's just another murder in the city of doors.
Some days you love the job. Some days it's hard to love the job.
Fair. I'm going to gather my girls and take them somewhere safe. I'll be in touch.
It's a very good idea. You know how to contact us.
Thank you. She walks out and gets to business.
Okay. Shall we call it there, given that we've, experienced some minor attrition of people?
Sounds good. So, we'll close out here. And ladies and gentlemen who are watching, will be watching, have watched, will watch, can watch, might watch. Thank you very much.
We love you all.